hookup. She came back to destroy the man who once shattered her. But fate had other plans. Bella's return was meant to be cold, calculated revenge, a fake marriage to ruin the heartless CEO who abandoned her years ago. But everything changed when he discovered the truth. She had kept their daughter a secret. As old wounds reopened and buried emotions resurfaced, Bella was forced to confront a painful reality. Her revenge was fake, but the love she once buried was still burning inside her. Torn between past betrayal and present longing, she had to decide: walk away again or risk everything for the man who once broke her and might now be the only one who can make her whole again. Because sometimes love isn't a lie, it's the only truth that survives. Bella adjusted her blazer, took a deep breath, and walked through the tall glass doors of Kane Enterprises. Her heart beat like a war drum, but her face remained calm, elegant, untouchable. She wasn't here for a job. She was here for a war. And the man she was about to face, Joshua Kane, billionaire CEO, ladies' man, liar. 8 years ago, he left her bleeding, not on the outside, but inside, where nobody could see. And today, she was going to make him bleed in silence too. Name? The receptionist asked, smiling politely. Bella Weston. I'm here for the assistant position, she replied, her tone sugar-sweet. Oh yes, Mr. Kane has been expecting you. Top floor, private elevator. Bella stepped into the lift, her heels clicking like loaded weapons. The polished steel walls reflected her calm exterior, but inside she could still see the girl who had once waited hours in the rain for a man who never showed. She smirked. That girl was dead. April 14th, her birthday. Bella waited in the restaurant for 2 hours. Candlelit dinner. His favorite wine. No onions, just how he liked it. Her trembling fingers clutched a velvet box with 2 pink lines hidden inside, a test she had taken that very morning. She was pregnant, and he didn't show up. He never called. And when she went to his apartment, his doorman smiled awkwardly. Mr. Kane? Sorry, ma'am. He left for a business trip with someone else. That night, she lost the baby and a piece of her soul. The elevator pinged. She stepped out into the high-rise office suite where the air reeked of money and masculine cologne. Large windows framed the city skyline, and there he stood, leaning casually against his desk, Joshua Kane. He hadn't changed much. Same arrogant grin, same tailored navy suit, except now he looked older, more polished, less reckless, but more dangerous. Boss, Bella said softly, her voice tight. I need to tell you something. Joshua turned and smiled, holding up a hand. Me too, me too. But wait, suddenly, the door flew open. A woman in red stormed in. Who the hell are you? She snapped at Bella. Bella turned with a smooth smile. His wife. Joshua blinked. Oh, honey, you forgot your ring, Bella added, pulling it from her purse and sliding it onto his finger. The entire room went quiet. You're married, sir? The receptionist gasped. Yes, Joshua said quickly, confused but oddly intrigued. My wife. Come on, honey. I'll show you my office. He escorted her inside and shut the door. What the hell are you doing? He hissed. I just got you out of trouble, Bella replied calmly. You're welcome. Joshua tilted his head, intrigued. You're here for the assistant job? I am, but you have no experience. Oh, really? I just covered for you like a pro. Also, she reached into his drawer and pulled out a silver earring. Give me my earring back. Joshua stared. Something about her felt dangerous, but irresistible, and he liked dangerous. You're hired, he said. 2 weeks passed. Bella did her job perfectly. She handled files, meetings, interviews, all while playing the innocent assistant with a sharp tongue. And Joshua? He was slipping, slowly, willingly. Let's get married, she said one afternoon, flipping through wedding magazines while sipping tea in his office. He laughed. What? You heard me. You need stability, a respectable image, and I'm offering it. Are you out of your mind? Maybe. Or maybe I'm exactly what you need. Joshua chuckled. You want to marry me? Why? Bella leaned in. You're drowning in scandals. Women, gossip, lawsuits. I'm your reset button. And what do you get? Money. 1 week of marriage. Then we divorce. No strings. He paused. That's insane. She shrugged. So are you. He stared at her. Fine. Let's get married. White flowers. Paparazzi. Diamond rings. They rented a private villa and staged a luxury wedding that social media ate up in minutes. Joshua's PR team praised the change in character. Investors cheered his new image. But behind the camera, everything was fake, even the kiss. Except Joshua closed his eyes when he kissed her, and Bella noticed. She filed it away like ammunition. Joshua stood in front of his mirror, struggling with his tie. I've never wanted to get married, he muttered. Bella stepped in, top button undone. He looked at her. How did you know? She helped him with the tie. Their eyes locked. Something shifted. You seem to know everything about me. I do. Like you can read my mind. Maybe I can. They played the married couple for the press. They danced. They laughed. They kissed again. This time, he didn't just close his eyes. He held her hand a little too long. Back in the penthouse, Bella prepared to leave the room. I'm going to take a bath. I opened champagne, he offered. I don't drink that. Sunset, he tried. City lights. She rolled her eyes. Cars, roads, skyscrapers. Wow. But as she turned, he stopped her. Wait, Teresa. Let's talk. She froze. Teresa was the name on her fake documents, but it still startled her. I'm not that kind of girl. Then your work isn't over. She spun around. Fine. Let's play a game. I ask a question. If you answer right, you get to come closer. He smiled. I'm in. What's my natural hair color? Red. Wrong. When's my birthday? May? Nope. What do I drink? Coke. Wrong again. He stood still, frustrated. Then he changed. You wear jumpers and jeans when you're alone. Her heart skipped. You bite your nails when you're anxious. Her breath hitched. And your favorite music, jazz. She stepped back. How do you know that? It's like I know you from another life. What do you want? She asked. One thing. A kiss. Why? Because it feels like I've known you forever. He kissed her, and for the first time, Bella forgot who she was pretending to be. For the first time in 8 years, she felt her walls crack. She let him hold her. She let him fall asleep in her arms, and it terrified her. The next morning, she stood in the penthouse hallway with her phone out. Joshua walked in from the bedroom, shirtless, smirking. She hit record. Smile for the camera, honey. What? She turned the screen toward him. I'm filming my husband with his mistress. His smirk vanished. I'm sending this to my lawyer. After that, I'm taking your company, your property, everything. What the hell is going on? He asked, stunned. Did I hurt you? Think harder, Joshua. He squinted, trying to connect the dots. Bella smiled coldly. Let's have dinner first. Maybe after the bedroom. What are you talking about? Today's my birthday, she said. He blinked. Oh, I didn't know it was today. April 14th. No onions. Just the way you like. Joshua sat down slowly. Bella's voice hardened. One day, 8 years ago, you destroyed my life, and now I'm returning the favor. He dropped his fork. His eyes met hers, and something inside him broke. Joshua Kane wasn't used to being speechless. He had built an empire from charm, sharp deals, and impeccable instincts. But none of that prepared him for this. One moment, he was kissing the woman he was beginning to fall for. The next, she was holding a phone and threatening to ruin him. The word wife had never sounded so dangerous. You're filming me? He asked, voice quiet. Bella didn't flinch. Smile for the camera, sweetheart. It's your highlight reel. He stepped back, trying to read her face. Why are you doing this? What did I do to deserve this? Bella gave a bitter laugh. You really don't remember, do you? Remember what? She leaned forward, her voice a whisper now. April 14th, 8 years ago. You were supposed to meet someone for dinner. You never showed. She waited. She had news. Important news. Joshua's eyes narrowed, gears turning in his mind. That was you? He finally asked. Bella smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Ding, ding, ding. Took you long enough, but I didn't know. You didn't want to know. You left, disappeared, and when I found out where you went, her voice broke slightly. You were with someone else. Joshua looked away. Shame coated his features. Bella, you don't get to say my name like that, she snapped. You gave me silence when I needed answers. So now, I give you pain. They sat at the table, a perfectly arranged meal. Wine, no onions. Music soft in the background. Joshua barely touched his food. I didn't know it was your birthday, he murmured. Bella rolled her eyes. You knew it once. He looked up. What do you want from me? Revenge? Money? I want justice. He shook his head. This, whatever this isn't justice. It's a performance, a setup. She smirked. You of all people should respect a good performance. He swallowed hard, looking at the food, then back at her. What was the news you were going to tell me that night? Her fork paused midair. She met his gaze with quiet fire. I was pregnant. Joshua stared at her. What? I had a baby growing inside me. And you never showed up. His mouth opened, then closed. He stumbled back, needing air. I lost it that night, she added. Stress. Shock. I collapsed in the street while holding onto the test. Joshua pressed his hands to his face. God, you moved on so easily. Another girl. Another conquest. While I couldn't sleep for months. He stood in silence, breathing hard. I didn't know. Bella, I swear I didn't. She stood too. But you didn't care to find out. That night, they didn't sleep. He paced. She stayed by the window, arms crossed, as if guarding herself from any flicker of sympathy that might creep in. You think you're the only one who's broken? He asked at 3 a.m., his voice low and ragged. Bella turned slowly. I never stopped thinking about that night, he continued. I thought about it every time I saw red lipstick or walked past that restaurant. But I didn't have the guts to find you. I was a coward. You were a monster, she corrected. He nodded. That too. She paused. So why come back to me now? I didn't know it was you. Teresa. Bella, you were like a ghost. But now, I don't want to let you go. Bella's eyes welled up, but she blinked the tears away. You don't get to want me now. The next morning, Bella packed her things. Joshua stood at the door, watching silently. I'll be gone before noon, she said. You don't have to go. I do. He didn't argue. Not at first. But then, as she reached for the door, her phone rang. Mom? Joshua froze. A little voice on the other end. Mommy, when are you coming back? Joshua stepped forward. Who is that? Bella's eyes locked on his. He put it together. You, you had the baby? Bella turned the phone on speaker. Say hello to Joshua, sweetie. Hi, mister. The voice chirped. My name's Mia. Joshua went pale. How old are you? He whispered. I don't know. 8, I think. And your birthday? April 14th. Mommy says it's a magic day. Joshua stared at Bella, speechless. You kept her from me, he said. You left us, Bella shot back. I didn't know. You didn't care to know. The phone beeped. Call ended. Joshua collapsed into the nearby chair, burying his face in his hands. I have a daughter, he whispered. Bella stood in silence, arms crossed, heart thudding. This wasn't part of her plan. He wasn't supposed to cry. He wasn't supposed to break like this. And yet, here he was. He showed up again that evening. She didn't want him there, but she let him in. I just want one answer, he said, standing at the threshold. She nodded. What ruined your life more, me abandoning you, or you falling for me in the first place? Bella's breath caught. She didn't answer. Joshua's expression softened. I get it. You wanted revenge, and you deserved it. But somewhere in the middle of this fake marriage and the champagne, something real happened, didn't it? She said nothing. I kissed you, and you kissed me back. That wasn't acting. She stepped back. Leave. Bella, no. Leave. Please. Joshua didn't argue. He nodded and walked out. She closed the door behind him and slid down against it, holding her knees to her chest as the tierce finally came. The next day, her lawyer arrived. Papers were served to Joshua. Property, stock transfer, company shares. Everything they had agreed on when she filmed the betrayal. Joshua came to sign it all. He sat across from her. You came to destroy me, he said. And now you're finishing the job. She didn't respond. He signed the first page, then the second, and then he paused. He looked at her, not with anger, but with remorse. You were right. I deserved everything you gave me. But the only thing I want now. He pulled a small, folded paper from his pocket. Is this? He handed it to her. She unfolded it. A child's drawing. Stick figures. A tall man. A little girl. And in the middle, a woman in a red dress. Our family, it read. Bella's throat tightened. She drew it, Joshua said, after I asked her what she imagined a dad would be like. Bella stared at the paper, eyes stinging. I'll sign everything, Joshua said. But please, let me see her. Just once. That night Bella sat alone, drawing in her lap, glass of untouched wine in her hand. She remembered the way he held her during the fake wedding, the way he looked at her when he guessed her favorite music, the way he stared at the city skyline with a childlike wonder, because he was a child back then. Lost, confused, but he wasn't that man anymore. Or was he? She didn't know. And that terrified her most of all. Her revenge had worked. He was destroyed. But so was she. She picked up her phone. One message from Joshua. You said love doesn't fix the past. You're right, but maybe it can build a future for Mia. For us. Or maybe just for her. But whatever it is, I want to try. She stared at the screen for a long time. And finally, she replied, tomorrow, 10 a.m. She wants to meet you. The next morning came fast. Bella hadn't slept. Her nerves tangled around her like vines in the dark. She didn't know how Mia would react. She didn't know how she would react. But at exactly 10 a.m., the doorbell rang. She opened it to find Joshua standing outside, clean-shaven, wearing a simple gray sweater and jeans. He looked human for the first time, not like the powerful CEO, not the arrogant Casanova, just a man, a scared, broken man. I brought something, he said, holding up a stuffed white bunny. You said she likes animals. Bella gave a single nod and stepped aside. Inside, Mia was seated on the floor in the living room coloring the edges of a giant paper sun. Sweetheart, Bella said softly, someone's here to meet you. Mia turned, eyes wide. Is it the ice cream guy? Joshua chuckled nervously. Not quite. He knelt slowly. Hi, Mia. The little girl blinked at him. You're the man from the phone. He nodded. That's right. What's your name again? My name is Joshua. Hem. She looked him over. You don't look like a Joshua. You look like Leo. Joshua laughed. Leo it is. He offered the bunny. She took it, hugging it tight. What's its name? You get to name it. She smiled. Flopsy, like from Peter Rabbit. Bella stood silently near the kitchen counter, arms crossed tightly. Mia looked between the two of them. Wait, are you my mom's boyfriend? Joshua looked at Bella. Bella swallowed. No, sweetheart. He's your dad. Mia's eyes widened. My real dad? Joshua's voice cracked. Yes. Where were you all this time? The question landed like a punch to the ribs. I didn't know I had you, he answered softly. And I'm so sorry for that. Mia tilted her head, serious. You missed a lot. I know. Like my ballet recital. He nodded. And when I lost my first tooth. Yeah. And when I had a tummy ache and Mom cried because I threw up on her pillow. Joshua laughed weakly. I deserve that. Are you going to leave again? Bella stepped forward, but Joshua raised his hand. I'm not leaving again, he said firmly. Mia studied him for a moment. Then she climbed into his lap. I believe you, Leo. The sun filtered through the windows. Bella watched from the hallway as Mia dragged Joshua into her room, showing him drawings and books and her secret snack drawer. Laughter echoed, real, unforced. Bella should have felt victorious. This was her trap, her design. She had planned everything, even the moment when she'd watch him break under the weight of fatherhood. But it didn't feel like victory. It felt like surrender to something she no longer understood. Mia had fallen asleep with Flopsy in her arms. Joshua and Bella sat in silence on the rooftop terrace, overlooking the glowing city skyline. The same place where fake champagne and fake sunsets once marked the beginning of their lie. Now it felt different. You're good with her, Bella finally said. I had no idea what to say, but she made it easy. She's like that. Joshua took a slow breath. I thought I'd come here and beg for forgiveness. You didn't. You just showed up. He looked over at her. Why'd you let me? Bella looked at the stars. I think because somewhere deep down, I always wanted you to care. Even when I hated you, I wanted you to care. Joshua was quiet. Is it too late? He asked. Bella glanced at him. For what? For this, he said, motioning between them. For us. She didn't answer. He leaned forward. I know I'm not the same man you once knew. I'm not proud of who I was, but I want to be better. For Mia, for you, Joshua, he stood. I'm not asking for everything. I'm just asking for a chance. Bella stood too. Her voice cracked. You had a chance. 8 years ago, and I blew it. They stood face to face. She searched his eyes. I'm scared, she whispered. So am I. I'm scared you'll hurt us again. I swear I won't. You said that once, and then you vanished. I didn't know how to love then, he admitted. But I do now. Bella stepped back. It's not just about love. I know. You have to prove it. I will. She nodded slowly. Then prove it. 1 week later, Joshua invited them both to dinner. He didn't tell Bella the location, just sent a driver and a note that read, Trust me. For one night, Bella dressed Mia in a white and yellow dress. She wore something simple herself, a soft blue blouse, her hair pinned loosely. The car pulled into a familiar driveway. Bella froze. It was the restaurant, the same restaurant she waited in 8 years ago. Joshua stood at the front dressed simply, holding a yellow tulip, her favorite. I know this place has bad memories, he said, but maybe we can rewrite them. Mia tugged at her hand. It's so fancy. Inside, the same table was reserved, same corner, same view of the city. No onions in any of the dishes. Mia clapped in delight when she saw dessert. Bella, however, sat stiffly. Joshua leaned in, softly. I'm not here to erase the past, Bella. I'm just asking you to believe there's a future. She looked into his eyes. There was no arrogance there, no Casanova, just a man trying, and for the first time, Bella allowed herself to want again. That night, as she washed dishes while Mia slept upstairs, Joshua stood beside her. I never told you this, he said, but the night you were waiting here, I did come. Bella froze. What? I was outside. I saw you through the window, but I panicked. I got scared. I left. She turned to him slowly. I was 22, he whispered. I had no idea how to be anything other than selfish. I saw you sitting there, all perfect and hopeful, and I knew I couldn't give you what you deserved. So I ran. Tears spilled from Bella's eyes. All these years, I thought you just forgot. I never forgot, he said. I was just a coward. Bella's hands trembled. And then, for the first time since that day, she hugged him. As he prepared to leave, she walked him to the door. You really want to be part of her life? She asked. He nodded. She'll ask hard questions. She'll want answers. I'll give them. She might hate you sometimes. I'll take it. Bella sighed. Okay. He leaned in. What about you? She shook her head. One step at a time. He smiled. I'll wait. She smiled too. You better. A few days later, Bella returned home from work. The living room was filled with balloons, drawings, and music. Mia ran up. Leo made a party. For you. For me, Joshua stepped out of the kitchen, wearing an apron. Surprise! I forgot your birthday. Again. So I'm making up for it. Bella laughed. The table was covered in homemade food. No onions. Her favorite wine. A cake that was slightly uneven but made with effort. In the corner was a frame. It was the drawing Mia made. Our family. Underneath it, Joshua had written, maybe not perfect, but real. Bella stood frozen, staring at it. Then she looked at him, and for the first time in years, she felt peace. 1 month later, Mia had started calling him Dad. Not Leo, not Joshua, just Dad. The sound of it hit him every time like a miracle he didn't deserve, but cherished anyway. Joshua had gone from being a ghost in Bella's past to being present. School pickups, lunchbox notes, and Saturday zoo trips. He was trying, day by day. But even as he built bridges with Mia, Bella still held herself back, and he could feel it every time she smiled and looked away, every time her hand touched his, and then pulled back too quickly. There was a wall, and he knew why. Because love wasn't the problem. Trust was. At night, Bella would lie awake, Mia curled beside her, the hum of the city in the distance. She had loved Joshua once with every part of her soul. She thought he'd broken her, but in truth, she had never stopped loving him. She just didn't know if she could survive loving him again. Her revenge had been fake, but the feelings, those had always been real. She was scared that if she let him all the way in this time, she wouldn't survive another goodbye. One morning, she found a sealed envelope on her kitchen counter with her name written in Joshua's messy handwriting. Bella, if you never read this, I'll understand. If you read it and walk away, I'll understand that too. But if there's even one small part of you that still wonders what we could be, not what we were, but what we could be, then please meet me tonight. Same rooftop, 9 p.m. No games, no lies, just truth. J. Bella stared at the note for a long time. Mia came into the kitchen, rubbing her eyes. Is Daddy making pancakes again? Bella tucked the note into her pocket. No, baby. This time, I am. The rooftop was quiet. Candlelight flickered against the wind. Joshua stood waiting, hands shaking in his coat pockets. Bella appeared, dressed in the same navy blue coat she'd worn years ago, the one he always said made her look like a storm wrapped in silk. He smiled. You came. I almost didn't. I would have waited anyway. She stepped forward slowly. No lies? None. No performances? He shook his head. Just me. Bella exhaled. Okay. Talk. Joshua looked at her, vulnerable. I don't expect you to forget. I don't even expect you to forgive me. But I need you to know the truth. He paused. I loved you, even back then. But I didn't know how to show it. I was arrogant, blind, and selfish. You didn't deserve what I did to you. And I hate the man I was. Bella looked down. I was going to use you, she whispered. After I came back, I wanted to hurt you. I wanted you to feel the pain I felt. He nodded. I know. But then I saw you with her, with Mia, and I realized maybe you were hurting too. I was, he admitted. The night you left, I thought you'd just moved on. I didn't know about her. I didn't tell you. Why? She swallowed. Because I wanted to raise her away from the person you were. The man who crushed me. And now? Bella stepped closer. I don't want to raise her in revenge. Joshua blinked. I don't know if I can trust you yet, she said. But I know Mia needs you. And maybe so do I. Silence. Then Bella reached into her pocket and pulled out something. A photo of the three of them, taken just a week ago at the zoo. She handed it to him. I'm not saying yes to forever. Not yet. But I'm saying maybe. Joshua smiled softly. I can live with maybe. They weren't married. Not yet. But Joshua had moved into the apartment across the hall, so he could make pancakes in the morning and still knock before bedtime stories. They were rebuilding, one day at a time. And for the first time, Bella didn't feel broken. She felt whole, not because he completed her, but because she had finally healed enough to let love back in. One morning, while cleaning up Mia's old boxes, Bella found something. Letter, dated 8 years ago. Unopened. She stared at the envelope. Joshua's name was scribbled on the front in her old handwriting. Shaking, she opened it. Joshua, if you ever come back, know this. I waited. I believed. And you broke me. But if there's a day when you become the man I always knew you could be, then maybe we'll meet again. And maybe then it won't be about revenge. Maybe then it will be real. Bella smiled through her tears. Because that day had finally come. Epilogue. 1 year later, a small wedding. Just family. Mia carried the rings, wearing a crown of sunflowers. Bella walked down the aisle with a smile that said, I survived. I healed. I loved again. And Joshua? He didn't just say vows. He meant them. Not the promises of a boy pretending to be a man, but the quiet, steady promise of someone who had lost it all and earned it back, not through wealth, not through charm, but through patience, pain, and the willingness to change. As they kissed under the warm light of the sunset, Mia shouted, Finally, now we can all have the same last name. And everyone laughed, because she was right. The revenge was fake, but the love, it had always been real.